My wife's family did a secret gift exchange at their holiday party. I got nothing. They laughed and said, "We figured you'd be too busy to care." That night, I made a list of everything I quietly did for them. And stopped. Cold. 2 weeks. Later, their can't-fail projects collapsed. At the company retreat, my father-in-law, the CEO, said, "I don't know what happened." I did. Marrying into money. Here's the thing about marrying into money. The real currency isn't cash, it's blood. And brother, I was broke. When I slipped a ring on Sophie's finger 3 years ago, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. Not just because she's stunning, those green eyes could stop 405 traffic, but because I thought I was finally getting a family. The Hales were an old money dynasty, streets named after them, charity galas where the wine costs more than 6 months of my past paychecks. Richard Hale, my new father-in-law, is the kind of CEO who wears $1,000 suits like T-shirts. Hale Industries, manufacturing, logistics, real estate has been handed down like a corporate heirloom. The family tree has a desk for every branch. Martin, the heir apparent with a forehead that says future CEO. Clara, the influencer-ish marketing chief who's never worried about rent. Even cousins and uncles held cushy roles. It was bring your family to work day on loop. Me? They parked me in operations, the department that keeps the trains running, while royalty waves from the platform. The invisible glue eye didn't mind at first. I was grateful. Where I came from, family business meant my dad's busted plumbing van. But marrying up has a secret clause. You spend every day trying to prove you belong in a room that never truly lets you in. So I worked, not the showy kind that gets corner offices and stock options. I did janitor-level heroics, quietly cleaning messes before they became explosions. Martin missed deadlines. I stayed late and rebuilt his reports. Clara's decks read like a caffeinated diary. I rewrote them until clients thought we were geniuses. Richard forgot to return calls. I patched relationships before they soured. Data entry at midnight? Mine. Budget reconciliations that made accountants cry? Mine. System crashes at 2 a.m.? I babysat IT while the silk pajama crowd slept. They called it dependability. I called it being invisible glue, absolutely essential, totally overlooked. Dinners with the Dynasty Monthly family dinners were theater, a ballroom-sized dining room. Oil paintings of dead Hales judging from the walls. Richard held court. Martin nodded like a bobblehead. Clara pitched brand synergy between selfies, and I complimented the roast beef while listening to them. Planned the future of a company I helped run but would never truly join. All I wanted was to matter. The secret gift exchange, December rolled in with a company-wide announcement. A Hale Estate Christmas party and, Clara's idea, a secret gift. Exchange, a $200 limit. Chump change to them, real money to me. But I wanted to belong, so I signed up. The name I drew? Martin Hale. I obsessed. Sterling silver monogram cufflinks. A leather-bound Italian journal. Elegant, understated, perfect. I wrapped them like a surgeon. Crisp corners and forest green ribbon. The party looked like a magazine spread. A 20-foot tree. Champagne laughter. Gifts fanned out like offerings to capitalism. Clara emceed. Packages flew. Martin opened my gifts and actually lit up. Perfect. Whoever got me really gets me. And then the pile shrank. My name never came. When the last bag was claimed and the laughter softened, Richard frowned. Strange. Did we miscount? Clara giggled. We figured he'd be too busy to care. They laughed, not malicious. Worse, thoughtless. I smiled like it was a joke I understood, walked into the December cold, and learned exactly where I stood. Nowhere. The 2 lists back home, while Sophie slept, I poured bourbon and opened my laptop. List 1. Everything I'd done in the last 6 months. Martin's bad math fixes, Clara's rescued campaigns, 2 a.m. system saves, client calls Richard missed that I repaired, 40-plus entries, a resume of invisible labor. List 2. What I would no longer do. No more fixing reports unless officially assigned. No more rewriting marketing. No more bailing out botched emails. No more emergency IT triage. Not sabotage. Just boundaries. I saved the files under personal development, finished my bourbon, and slept like a man who'd finally loosened a too-tight shoe. Week 1. Gravity returns. Monday, 8:30 a.m. I clocked in, on time, not early, and worked on my actual Project Domain 15. Martin emailed, urgent, numbers due to the board in 2 hours. Old me would have performed digital CPR. New me deleted the email and kept working. 10:30, Clara called, my Henderson slides are broken. Old me would have rebuilt her deck. New me said, that sounds frustrating. Ask marketing. ET pinged about the logistics database meltdown. Old me would have pulled an all-nighter. New me replied, that's not in my role. Talk to your supervisor. By noon, the dominoes were falling. Martin's fantasy numbers confused the board. Clara's emotional connectivity pitch bombed. The logistics system coughed up errors like a chain smoker. At 5:30, I packed up and left. For the first time in 3 years, I did only my job, and it felt like oxygen. Week 2. Cracks in the marble. The office vibe shifted from smug to spooked. Henderson pulled their renewal, $2.7 million gone. Martin spun a speech about interdepartmental communication breakdowns, somehow blaming operations and IT. Clara said, well, usually someone double-checks my decks. Usually was me, not anymore. Family dinner that week was a velvet-gloved knife fight. Richard cleared his throat about coordination challenges. I asked how that gift exchange mix-up was going. Silence. A new crack climbed the marble. In the car, Sophie whispered, they're scared. I've never seen them like this. I stared at the road and said, maybe they should have thought of that before laughing. 8. The retreat. Nothing screams, we're not panicking like a last-minute mountain resort retreat. Trust falls, values workshops, a consultant with a flip chart asking, what defines our culture? Innovation, Martin, excellence. Clara, family, the chorus. I raised a hand. Accountability. The room fell quiet. I stood. Accountability means not expecting unpaid labor to cover for leadership failures. It means owning your mistakes instead of outsourcing them to the most dependable person in the room. The consultant changed markers. The family changed colors. That night, I told Sophie, Monday, they'll try to shove toothpaste back in the tube. She didn't laugh. The offer Wednesday, the CEO summoned me. Leather chairs, oil paintings of dead Hales. We haven't recognized your contributions, Richard said. We'd like you as Director of Operations Oversight. Big raise, board seat. Translation. Please become our official miracle worker, now with a title. It's generous, I said. Why now? We want you to feel valued. I decline, I said, standing. I've accepted another offer. His face went pale. Another offer? With people who value me before the building burns, I said, and left him sitting under his ancestors. Leaving the glue on my last day, I left 2 envelopes. To HR, the unpaid hours, responsibilities far beyond my role. To the board, a timeline of preventable failures, and how I'd quietly prevented them for years. Then one final polite company-wide email. When you rely on invisible labor and treat it like it doesn't matter, don't be surprised when things break without it. I turned in my badge and walked out feeling taller. Consequences. Arrived 2 weeks into my new job, An office with a door, colleagues who say thank you. Jonas popped in grinning. "You'll love this." He read from his phone, Richard stepping down to focus on family matters, Martin on administrative review for operational irregularities. Clara's department outsourced to a real agency. The flagship project I'd propped up quietly shelved, a six-figure consulting firm hired to unscramble the logistics system I maintained for free. 3 major clients gone, 2 on the fence. Stock down 30%. Gravity works, even in marble palaces. The lesson I think about that Christmas party sometimes. About the laughter when my name wasn't called. They thought I wouldn't care. I did. I just stopped proving it in ways that cost me sleep, dignity, and years I can't get back. Now I work where respect isn't a performance bonus handed out after a crisis. It's the baseline. No more invisible glue, no more family politics, no more favor, said like a command. At the retreat, my father-in-law asked, "I don't know what happened." Here's what happened. When you treat a person like a tool, don't be shocked when they put themselves back in the box and walk away. They wanted a miracle worker. What they needed was accountability. They thought I wouldn't care. They were wrong.